So the nerves hit, but the excitement was overwhelming. So of course I said yes, and I went on my hunt. And the first, I believe it was 2 nights that I hunted, I saw him. I saw the one that I eventually ended up getting, and I missed him. And I was so disappointed. I wanted to stomp on my bow and throw it away, and I didn't want to have anything to do with it. And I just wanted to wait to pick up my rifle and kill my deer then. But Colorado wouldn't let me give up. He said, "No, you're not. You're going to do this. This is in you. You want this. You're going to go for it." So I said, "Okay." So the next morning I got up and I went and we got in the blind. It was a makeshift blind, and for those of you who don't know what a makeshift blind is, it's a blind that's made out of limbs and sticks that you makeshift around you. It's not actually an object that you climb into. And so he had created this makeshift blind, and I went and got in it, and the deer came from my right, and he came within 10 yards of me at that point. And Colorado was guiding me and talking to me this whole time, telling me, you need to put your head down, because my face was glowing, because I had to wear makeup. I had to look good, because I was also being filmed for this one, for his show. And so he said, "Your face is glowing, you need to put your head down." So I put my head down. Well, this deer kept coming closer and closer and closer. And he came within 4 yards of us and put his head in the limbs that they had set up for this blind. I could hear the deer pulling up the grass. I could hear him crunching. It was amazing. It was so amazing. And what was really neat was that I looked my deer right. I got to see his face and his eyes. And he started walking away from me. And when he walked away, I was shaking. I was scared. I was nervous. But I was mad, too, because I'd already missed him twice. So I was determined I was going to get him this time. He walked away from me, and I drew my bow, and every time I would start to draw my bow, that deer would raise his head up. So you have to stop drawing at that time because he can see your movement. He put his head down, and I draw. We did this 3 times. So I was partially drawn every time that this deer would raise his head. Finally, I got fully drawn, and he raised his head, and I had to hold my draw for a while. So then my arm begins to shake, and my nerves are even more shot. And so he finally puts his head down, and I take my shot, and my pink arrow flies through the air, and it gets him, and you can hear the shot, and immediately I break down, and I'm overwhelmed, and I cry, and I'm so happy, and it was an awesome experience, one I'll never forget.
And we want to make clear, this was after 1.5 weeks of
practice.
practicing.
1.5 weeks of practice with my bow and my pink arrows.
Well, so now, do you think this segment is actually going to make it onto the show? Did you know that yet?
I think so. He said that he really liked the experience that I had, and the fact that I never killed a deer of that size. He was a 20-point.
Wow.
And he scored 177, so I made the Boone and Crockett, the Pope and Young, and the Safari Club International Record Book. So it's quite an experience.